Since the black market's gone, the main character needs a new job because he can't work for the doll maker anymore. And the male lead tells him, hey, go to City Hall, take the exam, you can work with children. So the main character does it. He gets on the train. The train will be taking him to Main City, away from District 6. Then he notices there's an issue. Like, before he was taking the exam, the person was acting wary and off-putting. And the person beforehand starts acting weird, too. They're really suspicious. They want to talk with their dad. They're very upset, especially when they see the male lead, because they're one of the people against the male lead. They want the male lead off his position. And the main character first thinks, oh, they're just going to get everyone out of District 6 and move them to the main city. No. They were trying to get everyone who had some skills and talents on the train and then move them to the main city, and then they were going to blow the shit up of District 6. Like, they were going to blow the shit up of 666. Where the main character thought, oh, I would have a chance to see my old boss again. No, he'll never be able to see his old boss again. The main character ends up becoming a teacher and taking care of the young. Basically, in this world, all the children stay in the main city until they turn 6, and then it's decided either they get sent to the districts to be adopted by a new family, or they go to become scientists or serve in the military, or go to the undergrounds. Like, they have one of those 4 options that they can go to, and it matters what their skills and abilities shows by the time they're 6. Or even then, more progress. If they don't pass a certain progress level, they get moved to a different location. But yeah, and the main character's taking teaching pretty well, and he goes, but they're not my spores, but they're fine, they're perfectly fine. I do like children, and he's taking being a caretaker pretty well. So one of the little boys the main character was taking care of, this little boy, he dissociated himself with other people. He didn't like other people. He wanted to be left alone. The main character could barely get sentences out of him. And because of his intelligence, he was supposed to be taken up to a certain level, but because of his dissociated personality, he'd be sent to a district instead, or to the undergrounds. Well, something happens and he gets infected, and they have to send him to the laboratories to be experimented on and tested on to understand how he got infected. They're not going to kill him. They're going to keep him alive, and he's turned into a bee. Well, the reason why he was so dissociated was because he had a friend. Her name was Lily, and Lily had been taken away too soon at the age of 3 because she was showing signs of being a special female and the fact of her intelligence, so they took her away much sooner. But they notice if they talk about Lily or bring Lily to him and keep a barrier between him and Lily, he will show signs of being himself, being still the boy he was before he turned into a bee. So they're doing tests and running and working with Lily, and the main character has to be by Lily's side. I like the fact that the main character can turn back into his mushroom self. I think that's really cute. I think this is what he looks like as a mushroom, and it's absolutely adorable. He just goes through the events. He even went to the underground world, and it's also going through this fence. He came across Lily for the second time. The first time was when Lily had ran away from the area she was being kept to go meet up with her friends before he got infected and turned, because she'd always sneak out, and every time she would get caught and punished for it, but she always wanted to see her friend and communicate with her friend. And the first time they met was during one of the times she ran away, and then the second time was the main character traveling through the fence, and she helped him get back to the location he was trying to get to because she always snuck out. She knew how to get back to places and get back in without getting caught sometimes. And she helped him while asking him, hey, can you give this information to my friend and then bring me back a message by him? And he's like, oh, I'll try, but he knew what happened to her friend because in between both times he saw her, he got infected. But the main character didn't want to tell her because he didn't want to break the little girl's heart. But they ended up working together to try to bring the little boy back to himself. And I really like the relationship between the main character and little Lily because it feels like a dad and his daughter or a mom and his daughter. Like, it's really sweet. I love the relationship between the main character and Melly. There's one scene that was very much a traditional wife and husband scene. The main character cooking dinner and the male lead working on the faucet. Like, a soldier came in because the male lead had, had a car that was 7 years old, so it wasn't going to work on his apartment door. because he always stayed in the districts or stayed outside the base, so his car didn't work to his apartment anymore because it was old and not updated. And the soldier brought it back and was like, what kind of relationship do you have with the male lead? And the main character's like, I don't know what you're talking about, we're friends. And he's like, this ain't a friend situation, this is a traditional wife and husband situation. He's doing the, hard labor work and you're doing the housework. Like this is a husband and wife stuff. Also the fact that the male lead gets jealous. This man drinks more Vigoner than the male lead and Scum Saving System. I am not kidding. This man, he bathes in it. He literally bathes in it. The main character even looks at another man's direction and he just gets upset. Also, one of the situations to prove as he got jealous was the main character, him sneaking around as a mushroom. He didn't have his card, so he couldn't get back in his apartment, and the main character wanted to go stay with someone else because the male lead was pretending that the main character couldn't stay with him, and then he got jealous over the fact. Also, the fact when the head doctor wanted food too, because the male lead's like, oh, you can get me food too, right? And the main character's like, yeah, I was going to ask you if you wanted food, and the male lead's like, yay! And the doctor's like, I want food too, I'm hungry. And the main character was going to give it to him, but the male lead was jealous. The main character still ended up giving the doctor food, but the male lead didn't want to let the doctor have the main character's cooking. This man drinks Vigoner. So the main character, he's found his spore. He's really happy he's found his spore, except the issue is his spore likes the male lead and wants to be close with the male lead, and he does not like that. Because, again, the male lead was the one who dug the baby out of his tummy. And he's like, I don't want my baby near this man. I want this man away from my baby, especially when this man likes to bully my baby and dug my baby from my belly. And he's able to get his baby back, but he can't leave the base yet because outside it will be dangerous for him and his baby because him and his baby can't survive. Because in this world, the mechanic field, or the field, that keeps the sun rays from smacking us and killing us off and killing off the entire earth, it disappeared. And the humans had to create a whole new field. The underground base has the south or north part, and then the upper base has either the south or north part of the poles to keep the fields up. But the underground part, whichever pole they take care of, was kind of down. So the field is kind of gone. And the male lead had to go to the underground base, fight the under attack, and then pull the pole back up. And the main character's like, I will leave the base when that's taken care of. The field is back. Until then, I'll keep my baby safe in my belly, and no one else is allowed to dug my baby out. And I'm like, yeah, protect your baby. Protect your baby. But I'm also a little wary about how close the baby is with the male lead. Maybe the baby recognizes the male lead as his new daddy and wants him as his new daddy. Mommy and daddy found mommy a daddy. But I'm also a little wary that it's going to screw the main character over big time. This baby's going to betray his mommy.